welcome to you, Pharr, from the Pharr Research. All right, so good morning. Mic test, mic test. Can everybody hear? All right, so good morning to everybody. Today we welcome everybody to our monthly trade meeting. This is the first that we do it live, so bear with us for any technical difficulties or any nervousness that we might experience throughout this ordeal. But again, thank you to everybody. For those of you who are looking at us or listening to us live stream, first and foremost, we would like to thank the city of Pharr for the use of this venue and also for the use of this platform. Like I mentioned, this is the first time that we do this, so bear with us. We do have here the 4 port directors from the area, and we do have an audience other CBP managers and other agencies that are here with us that will be answering some of your questions that you might have. So, just a couple of administrative notes. This is a 1-hour meeting, so we're going to try to go through it in an expeditious manner. We're going to go through every port of entry, have the specific issues for that port of entry, and then we do have other government agencies here that they're also going to be here to answer any questions that you have. So we're going to start from upriver, work ourselves downriver, and then we're going to go through the other government agencies for any questions or anything that they want to bring to the table. And then also we do encourage the audience to ask any questions if they have any questions for the group as well. So like I said, it's 1 hour and we're going to go through it as fast as we can, and we hope that we don't miss anything through this meeting. So first I'd like to welcome the port directors, Mr. Andres Guerra from the Port of Roma, Ms. Imelda Recio, the port director for the Port of Rio Grande City, and Walter Weaver for the Port of Progreso and Dana, and of course myself, Carlos Rodriguez, port director for the Hidalgo, Pharr, and Anzalduas. So we'll get the meeting going, and we'll start first with Mr. Andres Guerra from the Port of Roma. Mr. Guerra.
Good morning to everybody. Once again, my name is Andres Guerra. I'm the port director of the Roma Port of Entry. Probably the biggest message that I would like to send out today to the trade community is that there has been a change in the hours of operation for Roma. We are operating Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and also on Saturdays from noon to 1. It's an additional 2 hours on the back end of the shift. We're open for business like everybody else is. We still see a large opportunity for dry goods coming in early in the first few hours of our shifts. But any questions or whatever, you can direct them to myself or Assistant Port Director Rogelio Olivares. Thank you.
Good morning. Again, my name is Imelda Recio. I'm the Port Director for Rio Grande City. I welcome all the questions. Just a reminder, the hours of operation for the Port of Entry remain the same from 08 in the morning to 8 o'clock in the afternoon.
Good morning. My name is Walt Weir, Port Director of Progreso. Our hours of operation remain the same from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. I welcome any questions pertaining to the Port of Progreso. Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move to the agenda items. And again, we'll start with the Port of Roma for any agenda items, and then we'll continue with the other ports as well. Olivares?
Good morning. My name is Rogelio Olivares. I'm the Assistant Port Director of Trade for the Port of Roma. I'd just like to start out by saying that, reiterating what Port Director Guerra says, we are open for business. Our hours of operations are Monday through Friday, 8 to 8 p.m. And on Saturdays, we are open 8 to noon, 1 o'clock, I'm sorry, 8 to 1. We do welcome each and every one of you guys to take advantage of our hours of operation. Just a brief history. We started with the expansion of those hours about a month or so ago. And we do welcome each and every one of you to come up by. I'd like to start off by also mentioning you can reach us. My phone number, office number is area code 956-847-2018, or or I can be reached on my cell phone, 956-282-7898. Again, we'd like to welcome each and every one of you guys to take advantage. By all means, reach out. If you need to tour our facilities, we'd be more than happy to assist you with that. And we look forward to doing business with you all. Thank you.
Okay, do we have any questions specifically for the Port of Roma?
Yes, Mr. Rodriguez, for Puerto Roma, what's the total crossings on a daily basis, on a monthly basis that you have?
Yeah, our total number of crossings monthly-wise, we average about 1,200 to 1,300 crossings a month. Roughly about 60 crossings daily, between 60 and 70, depending on the day of the week. This past month, due to the coronavirus, we have seen a slight decrease. About 20% of those crossings were down for the month of March of 2020. But again, we are open for operations. The hours remain the same, and we do welcome each and every one of you guys to take advantage of our facilities.
Thank you.
So we're going to go ahead and move over to the Port of Rio Grande City for any agenda items for Rio Grande City. Ms. Decio?
So now we have the Deputy Port Director, Jorge Flores. He's going to be going over our stats for the month and any information. Well, we welcome all the questions. Again, just to reemphasize, we are open for business. The hours remain the same.
Good morning. I'm Jorge Flores, the Deputy Port Director at the Port of Rio Grande City. Just wanted to reiterate again, we are open for business. Hours of operation are from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night for the bridge. However, we have prioritized the processing of commercial conveyances, so we will stay operational past 8 p.m. We process till 10 o'clock at night. Since the whole modification started, we have not had any overnight trucks that spend the night. We do extend our hours of operation based on operational workload. So we're at a point where we're not at full capacity. Our processing capacity is not reached yet, so we're welcoming anybody, any company, any broker that wants to do any business through our port. We're welcoming any business through there. We're there to accommodate this new business. My office number is 956-487-1665. My mobile number is 956-735-9726. And the members that are already doing business through our port can also contact the cargo supervisor anytime there's any operational issues. Their direct number is 956-487-1670. Our port continues to see steady growth throughout the year. We track our numbers, and for the year, we're at 1.3% increase. COVID did hit our numbers a little bit, but we're still projected with steady growth throughout the year. And we do welcome any visits to the port. Anybody that wants to do business through our port, they can contact me at those numbers that I listed, that I gave. I'm more than willing to go out there, take some time so y'all can know the operation, become familiar with it, bring the vendors, bring your customers with you. We'll walk around the facility and work out any operational issues that you may foresee. But if you all have any questions, that's all we have for this month's meeting. Thank you for joining us.
Great. We would like to welcome everybody that's out there that's connected. This is the CBP Trade Meeting. Bridge Connect brought to you by the city of Pharr, by the Pharr International Bridge Connect Live. Also, we would like to encourage you guys out there to make any type of questions. En español, por favor, le queremos avisar a cada uno de ustedes que están viendo por a través de este medio, que usted haga su pregunta. Haga su pregunta ya sea para CBP, cualquiera de los puertos que están aquí presentes, hagan sus preguntas. Una de las preguntas ya la están haciendo, pero me gustaría de una vez hacerla para el oficial Rodríguez. ¿Qué cambios va a haber para los que son de visa? ¿Cuándo si es verdad que se activa eso? ¿Se va a abrir ya se va a quitar, se va a levantar y va a poder cruzar la gente de visa a Estados Unidos.
Sí, ahorita por lo pronto tenemos la proclamación del presidente que está en efecto hasta el 20 de mayo. Ahorita no tenemos indicación qué va a suceder cuando la proclamación se venza. Tan luego como tengamos una información, les podemos decir que sí va a haber una a press release,
Una prensa.
sí va a haber una prensa donde va a indicar si se va a vencer el 20 de noviembre o si va a haber una ampliación a esas fechas. Por lo pronto, ahorita estamos trabajando hasta el 20 de mayo y ya como tan luego que tengamos algo más firme, sí va a haber un comunicado de prensa para todos. Ok, so si no hay ninguna pregunta para el puente de Río Grande, ahora vamos al puente de Progreso Dona. Mr. Weaver.
Morning, thank you again, sir. The Port of Progreso is open 8 to 5, Monday to Friday, as I said before, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to noon. The port averages about 200 trucks a day, roughly about 4,000 to 5,000 trucks a month, and about 53,000 commercial trucks a year. The majority of importations are going to be produce. We do receive slate, and our point of contact at the Port of Progreso is going to be Catalina Morales. Her office number is 982-6451. We invite all brokers, all importers to the Port of Progreso. If you need any assistance, we're ready and available for you at any time. Thank you.
So do we have any questions for the Port of Progreso? Anybody out in the public? Okay, so moving on. So now we'll go ahead and move to the Port of Hidalgo. So I just want to let the viewing audience know that the Port of Pharr is alive and open for business. We did see a slight decrease in traffic, obviously for the COVID-19. We're starting to see our traffic starting to slowly increase. We want to make sure that everybody is aware that our job during the COVID-19 is to make sure that we keep trade moving. We want to make sure that it goes unimpeded. I know we've had a couple of situations where there's been some issues on the essential travel, and we're here to tell you that essential travel is still related to trade and commerce is ongoing. So if there's any situations that present themselves at the port of entry where perhaps the itinerary is questionable, we always encourage everybody to ask for a supervisor to make sure that that traveler is taken care of in an expeditious manner. We do realize we've had some situations that the itinerary was questionable, but we immediately addressed the situation. And I want everybody to understand that this is fluid. It changes from a day to day, and we're making sure that our officers and supervisors are aware of the latest and greatest information out there. So in the event that there is any issues that surface, please feel free to ask for a supervisor, and we'll certainly entertain that particular traveler, and we'll address it accordingly. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the agenda items for the Port of Hidalgo, Pharr. Mr. Thomas? We'll go ahead and start with the agriculture portion of it, and then we'll work through other agenda items as well.
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Tom Garcia, the Chief Agriculture Specialist for the Port of Hidalgo, Pharr. Just here have some of our agriculture stats to kind of go over with some of the enforcement activities we've been doing. Let you know for the month of April, we had 198 pest interceptions, with 49 of those being actionable, so about 25% were held actionable. And 108 emergency action notifications were issued. Now, let me talk about with the pests in particular. For the Tobamba virus, we had 15 interceptions, which is on the tomatoes, mainly exclusively on the tomatoes. And we also had 20 interceptions of Copatarsia species, and which of those are the ones that we find on the larvae and the green leafy vegetables, particularly broccoli. Broccoli was very heavy with the Copatarsia this past month. Now, for our wood packing violations for April, we had 36, and for our fiscal year, we're up to 238. Again, we just want to put it out there just to please work with your supply chain. This is something that can be, easily addressed, throughout, so that doesn't result in the refusal of the shipment, penalties, and so on. And now just a friendly reminder for coming up for the summer months here with the Lomo Metapon pest. And you all remember we brought this up here periodically. This is a pest it's a hitchhiking pest that can come in a variety of different shipments. Last year, in May 2019, we had 39. June, again, this is all for last year. June was 59, July 70, and then August it tapered down to 37. But again, just putting this out there so if we can, if measures can be taken, again, through the supply chain to eliminate this pest, again, this is just going to help because especially we know that this is a hitchhiking pest. I know some of the things we brought up in the past are like how loading up a shipment at night with floodlights, it'll attract the pest. So again, just please take these measures because again, if we can have these trucks be processed and efficiently, effectively, it's a win for everybody. Now going back a little bit here, just to talk a little about the tomato and the peppers inspections, the Port of Pharr, through the Pharr commercial facility, we did some adjustments to our protocol here this past month. We saw that we were finding a lot more of the tomatoes were being compliant in the fact that we're not finding this particular virus, the Tabamo virus, as frequently as we were at the start of this, November of last year. And we also found that the paperwork was in order. When we first started doing this, there was a lot of issues with the paperwork. We've made some adjustments, and we found that the efficiencies have increased. So hopefully, if you all seen that on your end, that a lot of these tomato and pepper shipments are coming through quickly, which was our end goal throughout this entire change of procedure. But again, we've seen a lot of the benefits from it. Now, I know there were some questions that came through us from the trade community with some of the agriculture, specifically the agriculture, like having to do with with this pilot program they're currently engaged in. There are some of the specifics we really can't get into right now just because of the nature of the venue we're in here. But again, like we said before, this is it's a pilot program that's going on throughout many ports within CBP, meant to focus our efforts on realized pest interceptions. So there will be some times when we are finding these pests that you'll see that the inspections that come to the dock will increase. But again, if we can also work with to get these pests, get the shipments coming in without these pests, then we can get back to a place where we're at. We're just again, they're not coming down for a full intensive inspection every single time. And again, like I said, it's just some of it is just the nature of it. We're dealing with biologicals, so it's the cycle of how the pest is growing. Versus this is not something man-made. So again, just understand that and please bear with us. So on that end, I don't know if there's any questions on the agriculture side.
There's a question. I'm going to do it in Spanish. Están haciendo la pregunta de parte por el medio de YouTube. Si usted está conectado, haga sus preguntas ahí. Pero la pregunta es para el puente de carga de Pharr. ¿Qué niveles, qué seguridades se están tomando para los tractooperadores, para los choferes, para los operadores? ¿Se están midiendo las temperaturas? ¿Qué es eso que se están ellos? ¿Cuál es el nivel de seguridad que están midiendo ustedes? ¿Están revisando la temperatura? ¿Están teniendo todavía el máscara? ¿O cuál es eso? ¿Qué están haciendo?
Sí, ahorita si estamos tomando temperaturas a los choferes, esto no lo estamos haciendo. Es recomendable que los choferes vengan con sus tapabocas cuando lleguen al lote de importación. Toda persona que está trabajando en el lote de importación, recomendamos que usen el tapabocas. Sabemos que el Estado ha disminuido varias medidas tocante el coronavirus, pero nosotros en el lote de importación es recomendable que todos los choferes traigan sus tapabocas cuando lleguen a la primaria, cuando estén en el lote de importación, o los montacarguistas o alguien que esté visitando el lote de importación, que por favor usen el tapabocas si lo tienen disponible con ellos.
Perfecto.
Any additional questions on the produce side? If not, we'll go ahead and continue with the agenda items. There is a question on the agenda, is there any update to the UCP in Pharr? Yes, the UCP is still moving forward. In fact, yesterday we did have a meeting with our Mexican counterparts. We're still moving forward. There's a couple of OIT issues that we're working through, but the plan is still in place that we will continue with the UCP process at the Port of Pharr. Another question is fraudulent issues involving COVID-19 medical items that brokers should be on alert to. We do have systems that are in place to monitor the importation or exportation of any safety-related items, such as any PPE item, really, and any COVID-19 testing. So in the event that we do come across any type of this type of equipment, we do have measures in place where we will alert the broker, the importer, the exporter that a specific shipment needs to be inspected for whatever reason. Keep in mind that CBP works with many federal agencies, and a lot of this equipment is governed by other federal agencies. So, we wear multiple hats. If other agencies have a specific hold on a commodity, we will put a hold and we'll make the proper notifications to those entities that need to be aware that the shipments are being detained. The other issue is there any foreseeable changes or interruptions on the horizon that may impact the crossing times? At this time, we don't foresee anything on the horizon that would impact the wait times. Even before the COVID-19 was here, we weren't seeing any elevated wait times in the cargo arena. As everybody knows, we've made some modifications to our empty truck inspection. We did start with a pilot that's been going a little over a year, and it's worked out very good where we're allowing tractors and tankers, 41-foot tankers to come in through the passenger arena, and that's been, we've been able to process about 40% of our traffic, which gives us a 40% capacity on the import side for loads. So we didn't see any increase in wait times. Right now, obviously, the wait times are very low, the obvious because of the COVID-19, but on the horizon, we don't foresee any reason why our wait times should increase unless something dramatic was to happen. But we know we do have contingencies in place in the event that we do get elevated wait times. The other one is, does CBP foresee any issues with Mexican aduanas in processing times as a result of the Mexican government announcement regarding COVID-19 response? No, we work hand in hand with Mexican Customs at all times. If there's any issues that impact our port, we have that open dialogue with Mexican Customs on a daily basis. We do have monthly meetings, and then we have ad hoc meetings if something should arise. But we have each other's phone numbers at our disposal. If something was to come up, we immediately address the situation to make sure that the traffic is impeded. How are CEP levels at the POE throughout the Rio Grande Valley as a COVID-19 level? Kind of like a vague question, but as we all know that every port is a little bit different. Everybody has different types of traffic. The infrastructure is different, but all the ports of entry are open for business. There was some slight modification to some of the crossings, but at the end of the day, we're still processing traffic. We do have travel restrictions at all the southern border, and every port of entry is processing accordingly based on the travelers that are crossing through those crossings. How many produce trucks have been staying overnight? We've seen a decrease in the overnights. Typically, they range by 10 trucks nightly. Some of them just arrive at the very end. But some of the issues, why they're staying is the brown rugose testing, the pending of pest ID. They're arriving late, pending a return to Mexico, import specialist review, and some are requesting cold rooms. So there's a variety of reasons why some of these trucks are staying overnight, but there's been a significant improvement. You know, sometimes we'd get up to 20, 30, even 40 sometimes overnights, but now it's diminished to down to 10 on an average. But those 10 that are staying overnight, it is for legitimate reasons. So things have improved quite a bit, and we thank everybody for the support. I know that we had brought it up that trucks were just showing up without paperwork. They were just showing up on the U.S. side just to spend the night and mostly use it as a parking lot. But things have come a long way, you know, from the several meetings that we've had in the past. We've brought that issue, and we thank everybody for addressing those issues. So thanks for helping us on that front. Other than that, I don't have anything else on the agenda. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it over to our other agencies that are here that have joined us. So we'll have them address their issues. So the first one, we'll have FDA come up to the front, and FDA will address any issues related to any of the 4 ports of entry that are here, so we can continue moving with our meeting forward. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having me. My name is Patrick Ligler. I'm an imports investigator at the Pharr Bridge with the FDA. I realize there's probably going to be some questions involving PPE. I brought some of the latest changes in regulation with me, so I'm going to go over these really quick, see if I can get ahead of some of those questions before we move on. Starting with hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer has to be claimed to the FDA. Some people have been known to disclaim it or call it a cosmetic. Hand sanitizers, because they have active pharmaceutical ingredients, are considered drugs or over-the-counter drugs. They require the same rules and regulations that any other drugs do. Right now, that the drug manufacturer overseas needs to be registered as a drug manufacturer, and the hand sanitizer, whether they were making it before the pandemic or they're making it now, it needs to be listed as one of their products. I don't really want to get into that unless there's a question. As far as drug manufacturer importing now that didn't before, because we have a lot of new industries that are trying to take up some of the market share here. There's only 4 products that can go into your hand sanitizer, and that is whatever alcohol you use, glycerin, water, and hydrogen peroxide. No smells or tastes, just because they're worried about the ingestion of it from children if they get their hands on it. Face masks. There's a difference between a respirator and a mask. Respirators, we're all hearing the N95. Those are for use in medical and surgical environments. The CDC right now is not promoting those among the general public. Those we want to save and shoot to the forefront, the hospitals and people who need it. The masks could be a fabric or a scarf, anything you can use to cover your face. So the surgical masks that come in, they are required to follow the guidelines of a medical device. So they need to be registered and they need to have a product code. The masks, however, if they're just to be used, say at work, keep sawdust out of your mouth, or if you work in a restaurant and they're not intended to be used in a hospital setting, those can be disclaimed as not FDA regulated. So when you're bringing in either a face mask or a hand sanitizer, the best thing to do is just upload the documents right off the bat, most likely even a label, so that we can check and save you any exportation or refusal. Obviously, our key mission here is public health. We want you to know that business as usual is conducted with the FDA. We're still out there sampling. We are following the guidelines of social distancing as well, so there's some of us that are teleworking. As always, you can email us or give us a call at the office, or vast amount of information can be found at fda.gov. That's all I have about that. Is there any questions?
Yes,
please?
there's one question for FDA. Maybe Mr. Rodriguez can, tag along with this right here. It's there's a question. What's the personal amount, the proper crossing that someone can bring as personal use of hand sanitizer and face masks, and what face masks are they allowed to come across with them? Like, I'm driving my truck, I'm driving my personal vehicle. What's the amount of hand sanitizers, Lysol, face masks can I have with me?
I don't think there's a set number. If it looks like you're bringing in that it's way too much for one person to use, there might be some questions there. The value of the product as well. Are you making a formal entry, an informal entry? $2,500 is the cutoff there. I'd say that would be at the office's discretion.
So to declare it a formal entry would be, it all depends on the value, the amount, the dollar value.
Yes, $2,500.
That's,
Yeah, so, we would have to look at the totality of the circumstances. Like he indicated, how much can a person use? Does a person need 2,000 masks? It's something that's reasonable, for you to have, the 25 or 50. I think that's something that's reasonable on as far as the sanitizers, a couple of bottles or cans, that would be something reasonable. But when you're bringing in cases of this merchandise, then it's something that's questionable, and that's something that we would have to look, and that would be based on the question and the interview with the driver or the traveler at that time, and then we will make that determination.
perfect. FDA, one more question. You probably already answered this. The question is, are N95 masks for industrial general use disclaimed from FDA?
No, an N95 mask is going to say that it's for use in a hospital or surgical setting. A mask that is not intended for that will clearly state the intention of it, the end use, and that's what we base this on. So if the end use is not for hospital, surgical setting, you don't even need to declare it to the FDA because it's not considered a medical device.
Great. Mr. Rodriguez?
Okay, so barring any further questions for FDA, we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. Mr. Leo Olvera, Import Specialist.
All right. Before I ask for any questions that you might have, I'd like to, confirm and tell you for the brokers and the trade to continue using the center's mailboxes, the respected mailboxes that we have. The other option also it will be sending emails with phone number, contact, and that also can expedite any questions and queries that you might have. I personally, as a supervising import specialist here in Pharr, have been coordinating with the Pharr cargo and different importations that there's questions by the officers or the supervisors. And if it is not the center that I work for, which is the agriculture and prepared products, I will follow up and find out the supervisor or import specialist or that respective center. So far right now it has been working very good, and we have coordinated especially with Pharr, and they're taking pictures of the product, and the import specialist has been resolving different situations out there. So I would just kind of like encourage you to continue doing that, and as far as communication purposes, most of the import specialist supervisors, import specialists, we are teleworking right now. And so that's the main way to be able to communicate. The other thing that I'd like to mention is that I believe every center has initiated free trade agreement verifications. We've been flexible as far as providing documentation or anything like that. We're working with importer, the brokers, or the producer or exporter. But I just wanted to mention that we have initiated those verifications. So please continue working with us like you have always done it through all these years. The other thing I wanted to mention is that the new free trade agreement, which is the USMCA, the effective date, it was established for July the 1st. It might probably be moved, that date. I just saw an email this past Monday, but continue visiting the CBP.gov webpage, so that way you can just be informed on the new free trade agreement with Mexico, Canada, and US. Other than that, I don't have anything else. If there's any questions.
Yes, we have a couple of questions for you. You listen into this questions right here. As when can we expect to see the new 19 CF?
Can you repeat?
When can we expect to see new 19 CFR 182 regs? I don't know what the regs means, but yeah.
That's usually, based on my experiences, it is a little while to receive the update on 19 CFRs, on any changes. For example, like one example would be the new free trade agreement with Mexico, Canada, and US. So right now I don't have a specific date. All that I can say is that for the trade to continue visiting our webpage, the CBP.gov.
Okay, question number 2 is, are you aware of any tools to cross-reference any tariff numbers where rules of origin are changed NAFTA versus USMCA?
Right now, it appears that nothing is going to be changing as far as, tariff numbers or classification. The rules of origins, it appears that it's also going to be the same. I think, based on what I have discussed with my upper management in our center, the automobile, Chapter 87, is the most affected under this new free trade agreement.
Number 3 here, any comments on whether NAFTA market rules would have any carryover to USMCA?
For the most part, probably it's going to continue the same as NAFTA, but in some areas, there's going to be some kind of changes on the new free trade agreement.
Once again, what's your email where they can send you any further questions?
Yes, they can. My email address is leopoldo.olvera at cbp.dhs.gov. That could be one of the main way of communicating with me and providing me with a phone number. That way, if I need to ask questions or get more information, that will expedite the whole process.
Thanks. Once again, you're connected to the monthly CBP Trade Meeting, brought to you by the City of Pharr, the Pharr International Bridge, Bridge Connect Live. Mr. Rodriguez.
All right, so any other questions for import specialist Olvera? None? Okay, we'll go ahead and continue with our agenda items, and now we'll go ahead and turn it over to Supervisor Felipe Hernandez from our export lot for any news or updates regarding our export lot.
Good morning, Supervisor Felipe Hernandez from the Pharr export lot. One of the items I want to talk about is the PPE that is being exported, whether it's the commercial AES or exports. The community needs to address it to us. You can give us a call or email us. so we could get things straight, so we could start understanding what it's about. There's holes out there for other agencies, and when you have a hold, you need to address it to CBP. So what you do is just give us a call, tell them what you got, and from there we'll guide you and see what we can do. There's been many questions, and there has been an increase of inspections. So any misunderstanding or confusion, please, by all means, reach out to us, and we'll try to answer some of those questions.
All right, can you just give us the phone number at the export lot, please, for any questions?
Sure. The phone number for the Pharr export lot is 956-283-2173.
Okay. So any questions from the public out there regarding exportations? None? Okay. So now we'll go ahead and move over to our bonded warehouses. We'll have Officer Eloy Salazar cover any issues with the bonded warehouses.
Okay, good morning. My name is Eloy Salazar. I'm overseeing the FTZs and bonded warehouses. Also, if you have any questions regarding in-bonds, you can always address them to me. Nothing's changed. We're doing the same thing. We're keeping tabs on our warehouses. We haven't had any changes. So if anybody has any questions regarding the bonded warehouses or FTZ activities, let me know.
There's one question. It's extensions for inbound shipments still available?
Yes, you can request an extension. Just go ahead and email me at eloy.salazar@dhs.gov, and just say you're requesting an extension, and I'll go ahead and submit the forms to you, and you fill it out and give it back to me, and I'll take care of it.
Perfect. Thank you, Eloy.
Anybody have any more questions? Any concerns?
No, but they can send it out to your email, right? Eloy.salazar?
Yes, eloy.salazar@dhs.gov. I have to, that's the better one to communicate with me, because there's another Eloy Salazar out there. This one kind of narrows it down to me.
Okay, great.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Eloy. So now we'll go ahead and move over to federal motor carriers. We have Supervisor Tony Villarreal here with us.
Good morning, everybody. General public, carriers, brokers, good morning. First of all, Port Director Carlos Rodriguez, thank you for the invite, Troy, appreciate it. Chief Andy Vega, thank you for your continued support to our agency. My name is Supervisor Tony Villarreal. I supervise Pharr, Rio Grande City, and Roma ports of entries. My telephone number is 956-844-7361. My email is tony.villarreal@dot.gov. I want to advise everybody, we've had several questions. One of them being, are you still inspecting trucks on the border? Yes, we are, for compliance, whether it's the truck or whether it's the driver and all the regulations about, we are still doing it. However, due to COVID-19, we are limiting our staff. The bigger offices, we have half of our inspectors teleworking, but we are still doing our jobs. The smaller ports, we have one inspector teleworking per week. If anybody has any questions for me, you can call me again at 956-844-7361 or tony.villarreal@dot.gov. Are there any questions, Freddie?
Yes, sir, Mr. Tony. There's a question en español, if you can. Están laborando, y ya usted contestó la pregunta, ¿verdad? Pero ¿están laborando normalmente o hay algún cambio en sus operaciones adentro del puerto de Pharr?
Gracias por la pregunta. La operación sigue, seguimos revisando. Estamos por el COVID-19, estamos con el personal ajustado un poco, pero las regulaciones y las revisiones siguen sobre todo. Primeramente también quisiera darle las gracias a los choferes. Me han reportado mis inspectores que el 95 al 100% de los inspectores traen las cubrebocas, que es muy, muy importante. No es algo, como dice el chico Rodríguez, no es algo exigente, que le hemos dado de exigente, pero lo han hecho voluntariamente. Y eso se lo agradecemos mucho por la seguridad de todos. Sí les avisamos a los choferes que durante la inspección se queden en su camión, que no se bajen del camión, y eso es protección para nosotros inspectores, igualmente para los choferes.
Thank you, Mr. Rivera. And that is Tony.Villarreal with a double L and double R, right?
Double L, double R, yes, sir. Any further questions?
No, sir.
Stay safe and stay strong. Thank you again.
Thank you. So that pretty much wraps up our agenda items. Again, this is an opportunity that if anybody has any questions for any of the 4 port directors that are here representing the 4 ports of entry, Roma, Rio Grande, Progreso, and Hidalgo, can ask any questions that you might have at this time.
Yes, sir, Mr. Rodriguez, and all port directors. La pregunta es, ¿cuál es el límite de pasajeros que pueden pasar en un carro viniendo de México a Estados Unidos? Sabemos que vienen las personas que vienen a trabajar en custom brokers y inspectores. ¿Y cuál es el límite que pueden pasar en una van?
Sí, esta pregunta nos la habían mencionado en una reunión anterior y en el límite en carro cuando están viniendo queremos que el límite se quede en 4 cuando estamos hablando de carros, porque también queremos que también se practique la distancia social cuando vienen los carros y una cosa que hemos pedido también, que cuando el vehículo se está aproximando a los módulos, que abra las ventanillas para que el carro se airee antes de presentarse con el oficial, y cuando se presenten con el oficial, si traen el tapaboca, que se bajen el tapaboca para que el oficial pueda ver el rostro de la persona y pueda comparar los documentos. Y cuando estamos hablando de las vans, lo hemos dicho que también depende del tamaño de van, las van chicas 6 y las grandes de 8, pero que estén separados los pasajeros, porque sabemos que viene el chofer y un pasajero en el asiento de atrás, una persona, 2 personas, una persona y 2 personas. So depende del tamaño de van, los tamaños chicas 6 y las grandes 8. Y también lo mismo, que bajen los vidrios cuando se aproximen al módulo para que el vehículo se airee. O se ventile, es otra palabra adecuada.
Otra pregunta a los directores. Sabemos que el cónsul está cerrado en México, de Estados Unidos en México, en cuestión a las visas que están por vencerse, no que estén vencidas, que están por vencerse para los transportistas. Sabemos cuál es el proceso, con quién deben de hablar, dónde pueden llegar para los transportistas al momento que cruzan y está la visa por vencer para esos choferes.
Sí, este tópico también ya lo habíamos tocado anteriormente. Si antes de que la visa se venza, tienen que llegar al puente a decirle al oficial que la visa se va a vencer. En ese punto se puede dar un I-94 por 30 días mientras la visa se sigue renovando. Sabemos que ahorita el consulado está cerrado, pero en ciertos consulados sí están tramitando. No como lo tramitan diariamente, pero modificado, pero sí estamos en las mejores posiciones para que puedan transitar aquí. Ese I-94 que se le está dando es para que estén aquí en la frontera y necesitamos que lo hagan antes de que la visa se venza. Si la visa ya está vencida, no podemos hacer nada, porque eso ya es en contra de la ley. Pero tiene que hacerse antes de la visa, que se vaya a vencer unos días anteriores para que se les otorgue la B1 para que puedan transitar aquí en la frontera.
¿Y eso lo harían ahí dentro del import lot con el oficial?
Cuando lleguen al import lot, necesitan decirle al oficial que la visa se la va a vencer y que necesita una extensión, y la extensión que le vamos a dar bajo un I-94 va a ser de 30 días nada más.
¿Y esto, Mr. Rodríguez, aplica en todos los puertos de comercio?
Sí, a todos los puertos aquí de las oficinas centrales de Laredo se aplica SI 94 y vuelvo a recalcar, antes de que se venza la visa.
Otra última pregunta. Sabemos que el puente de Pharr está trabajando en varios proyectos dentro del puerto. Esto sería para el señor Bazán y para usted también, señor Rodríguez. ¿Podría dar un update en esos proyectos?
Sí, ahorita tenemos el proyecto, el DAP 15, que ahorita ya al contratista fue seleccionado para este proyecto. Ya vamos a empezar nuestras juntas iniciales tocante el proyecto. Tenemos una reunión ya planeada para hacer lo que le llamamos un walkthrough, ver la área donde va a estar la ampliación y estamos pues listos. Sabemos que sí vamos a tener que hacer un poco de modificaciones por el COVID-19, pero a fin de cuentas ya hemos esperado 5 años para este proyecto y damos gracias a Dios que podemos continuar. Y también le voy a dejar al señor, al director Luis Bazán, que dé unas palabras tocante este proyecto. Señor Bazán.
Sí, muchas gracias. No hay mucho que agregar. Hace rato lo mencioné en la plataforma de Bridge Connect Live y lo vamos a estar platicando las próximas semanas, pero como usted ya lo dijo, sí tuvimos una reunión ayer, una teleconference para seguir planeando los primeros 2 proyectos que son las entradas comerciales con sus respectivas salidas. Y eso ya va a empezar, ya se seleccionó el contratista, ahora hay pasos que seguir y de aquí a finales de mes vamos a tener la reunión para darle arranque a esto. El próximo año se espera que hagamos la licitud para los otros 3 proyectos que viene siendo la expansión de la plataforma, los cuartos fríos y el centro de agrícola. Así que quédense conectados en las próximas semanas con nosotros para poder saber un poquito más de cómo andamos con los proyectos. Gracias.
Gracias.
Mr. Rodríguez, yo una pregunta más, ahí es en español. La pregunta es, ¿puede un ciudadano americano cruzar a Estados Unidos manejando, operando un auto mexicano?
Sí, el carro mexicano tenemos que ver qué tipo de carro es, porque muchas veces es un carro americano que fue exportado hacia México, ese carro sigue siendo un carro americano, puede traer placas mexicanas y lo puede usar para transitar. Ahora, si es un carro que es 100% hecho en México y un ciudadano americano lo quiere manejar, ese carro se tiene que importar a los Estados Unidos. Se tiene que importar y ese carro tiene que estar bajo las normas de DOT. Hay ciertos requisitos que un carro mexicano tiene que tener para que ese carro lo puedan registrar en Estados Unidos. Tienen que ir con un import specialist para que les den las formas para hacer esa importación, ocupar un agente aduanal para que hagan los trámites para importar ese carro 100% mexicano a Estados Unidos. Si es un carro americano que fue exportado, trae placas mexicanas, lo puede manejar un ciudadano americano y ahí no es problema.
Perfecto. ¿A dónde es que se pueden comunicar para que obtengan esta información para ir a dirigirlos al departamento correcto? ¿A qué número de teléfono o a qué email address?
Sí, tienen que ir al import lot de Pharr y explicarles el caso porque el carro tiene que estar presente, porque muchas veces dicen es un carro mexicano, pero si lo ves y al 100% el carro sigue siendo un carro americano que no es mexicano. Tenemos que ver el carro para ver qué es lo que se va a requerir y darle los documentos necesarios para hacer eso. Pero una inspección se tiene que hacer del carro, va a ser ahí en el import lot. Y ahí es donde también está DOT, está los import specialists, que son las personas que van a hacer esa clasificación de ese vehículo y ciertas formas que tienen que llenarse adecuadamente.
Perfecto. Una pregunta más, y cabe más preguntarla en este momento es, ahora que el estado de Texas abre, es la pregunta que tengo aquí, abre parcialmente unas tiendas al 25% de capacidad. Sabemos que las personas que no están haciendo su cruce esencial, non-essentials, ¿qué es lo que va a cambiar ahora para esa persona que viene como turista de México a entrar a Estados Unidos? ¿Cómo ustedes van a poder determinar que es una entrada esencial o no esencial? y si pueden venir a hacer compras, ya que Estados Unidos está abriendo sus puertas al 25% capacidad de cada retail store, cada tienda.
Sí. So, como más temprano lo mencioné, ahorita todavía estamos trabajando bajo la proclamación del presidente que se va a no a clausurar, se va a expire.
Se va a vencer.
Se va a vencer el 20 de noviembre, perdón, 20 de mayo. Ahorita no tenemos información si esa proclamación se va a vencer o se va a extender. Ahorita en estas fechas, ahorita es essential travel nada más y cuando son visitas de turista, ahorita no es parte bajo esa proclamación. Si la proclamation,
Yes.
se vence, se vence. Y si no se vence y se extiende, se va a extender. Pero tan luego como nosotros tengamos algo, nosotros vamos a hacer un comunicado de prensa para que la población sepa qué cambios va a pasar el 20 de mayo.
Y ese comunicado es el día 20, ¿correcto? Dice el mayo 20, es cuando nos vamos a dar cuenta si se caduca la proclamación del presidente.
Sí, quizás va a ser antes o va a ser ese día.
Pues por lo pronto, entonces todo lo que la gente está viendo en las redes sociales, en social media, news, or text, or whatever you want to call it, lo que tú le quieras nombrar, todo eso es falso, que se abre, que ya puede cruzar toda la gente de México a Estados Unidos. Por el momento, lo vamos a esperar hasta el día 20.
Sí, sabemos que CBP hizo un comunicado hace unos días y el comunicado que CBP hizo, ese comunicado lo traducieron incorrectamente, porque mucha gente los ha comunicado sobre ese comunicado que se dio y el comunicado que CBP dio no es lo que estos medios publicaron. Los medios publicaron una cosa que no era contrario lo que CBP, el comunicado de CBP que hizo público.
Perfecto. Por eso es de suma importancia que usted que esté viendo a través de este medio siga persiguiendo la página internacional del Puente Internacional Pharr, la que viene siendo la Facebook page. Por favor, agréguenos ahí. Nosotros, la ciudad de Pharr, el Puente Internacional del Pharr está pasando sus comunicados con permiso de CBP, haciendo una vez autorizados. Nosotros estamos manteniéndolos al día al tanto, por favor.
Y también CBP tiene un Twitter, una hoja de Twitter, también donde se publica mucha la información que el público no lo puede ver a su criterio, pero les podemos decir que esa nota que se ha estado circulando no fue comunicada como CBP puso esa información.
Perfecto. La última pregunta que tengo aquí es, ¿qué diferencia, qué cambio de horarios hubo dentro de los puertos, ya sea Pharr y el puente de Hidalgo?
Sí, los cambios de horarios que fue el que fue afectado fue el puente de Ansaldúas. El puente de Ansaldúas abría de 6 de la mañana a 10 de la noche. El horario el nuevo horario que estamos trabajando es de 6 de la mañana a 4 de la tarde. El puente de Hidalgo son las 24 horas y el puente de Pharr para comercio estamos hablando de 7 de la mañana a 11 de la noche y para vehículo particular es de 6 a 8 de la mañana, de 4 a 6 de la tarde, sábado y domingo de 4 a medianoche ambos días.
Perfecto.
All right, so les queremos dar las gracias a todos por visitar este website. Como les dijimos que esta es la primera vez que hacemos esto, esperemos que les haya gustado y ya vemos cómo salió y qué es lo que hacemos para el mes que sigue. So I want to thank everybody for participating on this Bridge Connect. This is the first time that we've done it. A little bit of a nervous jitters. Hopefully it was to your delight. We'll see what next month brings, but stay tuned as we continue through this COVID-19. And again, we're all in it together, and everybody be safe. Thank you.
Once again, we want to thank all end viewers for connecting to the CBP Trade Meeting, also brought to you by the City of Pharr and the Pharr International Bridge. Con eso le queremos dar las gracias a cada uno de ustedes, a cada uno de los directores de los puertos, al director Rodríguez, al director del Puente Internacional Pharr. También le queremos dar las gracias a nuestros directivos, al alcalde Ambrosio Hernández. Y una vez más le queremos dar las gracias a todos ustedes que nos están viendo y que se mantengan conectados para la próxima semana, el próximo jueves. Pero aquí le cedo lugar al oficial Rodríguez.
All right, so just to close out, I would like to thank the city of Pharr for the use of this facility. Also, to the city of Pharr's OIT team for putting this together. I know that this was a little bit of a challenge, but again, thank you, Luis, thank you, Fred, and thank you to the mayor for the use of the facility again and this platform. Thank you.
Once again, los esperamos a la próxima. Una vez más, por favor, denle like, comparta este mensaje y nos vemos a la próxima. Gracias. Abróchese el cinturón, lávese la mano, use su Lysol y nos vemos en la próxima. God bless you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
God
you.
bless.